This is Ms. Shay from the Hope Program, and today we're going to be talking about transferable skills. Transferable skills are going to prove to be very helpful for you and to you as you continue to do your research regarding your resume and definitely as you prepare for your interviews. So, what are transferable skills? Good question. Transferable skills are skills that you have learned in two different areas of your life, personal and social or professional. So, professional skills that are developed through employment. So, when you were hired on other jobs, they had to train you to do whatever it is that you were doing. Okay. So, let's say, for example, you went to work for McDonald's. Well, when you went to McDonald's, you just didn't put on a uniform and they said, go ahead and have at it. What happened was they trained you on every aspect of what your job was. So, maybe, for example, you started in the back on the grill. Maybe you did the fries. Well, when you're moving from section to section, you are learning skills. You learn that when the fries look like they're low, that you have to go to the freezer and make sure you fill up those big, huge plastic things and make sure that you put down those fries so that it is available so that you will not be hindering the line and affecting the store productivity. So you recognize things like that. You recognize that if the store is really, really busy, then that means for you to speed up what you're doing. And then sooner or later, you gain some trust with other employees. And so then maybe they made you a crew leader. And now you are giving breaks and supervising and training other people who are coming in. They start to trust you, and then they put you at the front. At the front, you are interfacing with customers, you are problem solving, you are moving quickly, you are responding to your customers. You are talking differently to a senior than you would to a teenager, than you would to a little 5-year-old kid trying to order his food. So these are skills that you have learned on that job that can transfer into any other jobs. Education. Once you get education, once you have achieved a degree, it follows you wherever. It doesn't even have to be related to whatever job that you're looking for. Currently, you could have studied rocks. They call that horticulture, I believe. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but you could be studying rocks. So they'll go, okay, so if you got a degree in studying rocks, how is that going to translate to the workplace? One, you were committed, you completed your learning, you stayed loyal to it and focused to it, and so you finally did get a degree in it. You met deadlines, so you were trained, and so that's why that degree is important. It doesn't matter what industry that you got that degree in, but this is what it shows. This is what it proves. If you were in armed services, well, if you was in the armed services, usually you are hired first and foremost before anybody else. And the reason for that is because it shows a lot of skills that you have from being in the armed services. For example, so you are disciplined because you have to take orders. So that means that you respect leadership. So then that means on a job, you're going to take orders and you're going to respect leadership. I'm just saying. So internships and volunteering means that you have a love and that you have a passion and that you'll do something for free. So if you'll do something for free and you actually became really good at it, then it's worth paying you for, because it transfers over. So for personal and social skills, it transfers over into that as well. And so some skills that you're getting in that section of your life, maybe you have some hobbies. When you have hobbies and you have a love for hobbies, you have to do research because you have to go and find whatever the tools are that you're going to need in order for you to do that. And then the longer that you do something, the better and the mastery that you will gain. If you're exercising, well, you have to develop a schedule. You are disciplined. You have to do some research because there are rules and regulations regarding in anything that you do. There's rules on how you exercise, how many times you should exercise, what kind of exercise you need to do for your body. If you're losing weight, what things work, what food products that you can eat, what you can't. So there's research and you're analyzing. Okay. If you're raising a family and you're managing a household, so that means that you're managing schedules. That means that you are taking inventory. Okay, I have to go and get some milk and some bread and some eggs and some cereal because it just ran out. Okay. And you're going to need it because we're going for the weekend and the kids know how to make their own little cereals over the weekend. And so you got to make sure that everything is there. Okay, so that's planning. Okay, finances. Okay, I got $5. What can I spend on this $5? I know that if I go and buy, I can maybe buy a loaf of bread and some eggs with that. But if I go and buy cereal, it's only cereal. That's it. So it's making decisions like that. And then when you're caring for seniors, well, you're caring for seniors, and that means that you have love and you have compassion and that you have patience and that you have understanding and you have empathy and you have sympathy. All right. And then you people out there who social media attacks, oh, forget about it. You're showing that you have focus. You have to analyze what kind of product that you're putting it out there. You have to be able to manipulate your followers and your crowd. You got to be able to put stuff that's out there that they're going to like so that they will like your page. You have to stay diligent on how many posts you do because you got to keep everybody engaged in your videos. Those you need technical skills in order for you to do that, for you to do the video, perform the video, and then load it. And then if you speak different languages, that's like gold. So understanding these skills are important to you. It will be useful to identify what they are as you prepare for your interview and creating your resume. So who gets the job? The person who is able to explain what they know and how they know it and where they got it. So reference the job if that's where you got it. Reference the volunteer work if that's where you got it. Even if you learned to do something in a religious organization, okay? The first time that I ever got up in front of people was probably for an Easter pageant, and I had to get up and recite my poem or read my poem or what have you. That was the first time that I did public speaking as far as my memory will take me. And then look, 100,000 years later, don't judge. But 100,000 years later, I am using those skills and those tools that I got from a little kid and then over the years. So that's my point. Okay. So are you able to demonstrate your knowledge? Give examples. Be as detailed as you possibly can. The proof is in the pudding. What is in the pudding? Your detailed information. What you're supposed to do is be able to get that person to see what it is that you do. And the only way that you can do that is to give them examples. And then the most important part that I want you to know that I have in bold on this PowerPoint is explain how this skill is relevant to the present opening. Okay. So transferable skills, this is what they demonstrate. So they demonstrate flexibility, that you're able to multitask, that you know how to do a lot of different things, that you're able to change maybe roles, maybe leadership, maybe work in different departments, and that you're able to adapt. Now, the best part for me, I think, is the portability, meaning that you can pack it in your little suitcase and you can take it wherever it is that you're going to go, that it doesn't matter, that these skills follow you. If you're a problem solver, you're a problem solver everywhere. If you talk everywhere. That's exactly what I mean. And usually, the more you use a skill, the stronger that you become in that skill. So there is an assignment that is attached to this. You can edit it and then you have to submit it to your instructor. Now there's 2 skills that we want you to match to what your ability is. State where you have gotten that skill and then the importance of skill. We only ask you to do 2. There is a list that is there for you to use, or you can use some of the examples that I am using in this video. So what's in your toolbox? What can you pull out that is going to be useful in the position that you are looking for? Okay, so Let's take a look, a little bit more detail, just to help you, think about and understand really what a transferable skill is, understanding what the term means and how does it relate to you. So I want to get just a little clearer. So hang out with me a little longer. So are you able to communicate, right? Are you able to express your opinions and your ideas and your facts, your feelings and your beliefs? And are you able to do it professionally? Are you able to understand other people's opinions, their facts, and their beliefs? Are you able to listen and understand, not to listen to defend or respond? Those are two different things. Here's what I mean. So you have an argument, and before the other person can finish what they're saying, you already interrupted and you already interjected. Then that means that you're not listening. You're not listening to understand that person's point of view. You're listening so you can defend and so that you can respond and so that you can counter. And that's not what we're talking about regarding listening. Listening means this. That's it. Ability to receive feedback and then give it calmly, understand the value of the information or the correction and not take it personally, but take it so that you can improve on yourself. Are you able to speak logically? Are you able to network? I know people who naturally network. Like my grandmother, for example, she was a networker. We didn't call her a networker, but she was definitely a networker. You put her any place with anybody before an hour is up, she's going to tell you about who they are, their family, and who they related to and where they came from. Okay, because she was a talker, and then she loved people, and then she wanted to know about people, and so she sat and she asked questions. And then my grandmother was like a little lady, she was barely 5 feet and probably weighed maybe about 110 pounds at most. So she's a little lady. Right. And so my grandmother she should have worked for secret ops, the FBI. Okay. Because she was able to get information from people that nobody else could get. So teamwork, are you able to work in a team? Are you able to collaborate? Are you able to give other people chances, or do you take over? If you take over, then that's not teamwork. Are you able to give your piece and allow somebody else to use your piece or to use somebody else's piece? That is teamwork. Are you able to work with others and get along with them and share your ideas and share workload, right? So if you finish your work and you got it easy breezy and you kicking back and you see one of your coworkers that they're suffering and their desk is full of work, can you go help them? That would be teamwork. Are you supportive of other people? And are you comfortable in social settings? Are you comfortable around people? Because you have to be. So written communication, those bloggers, got to check your spelling, so are you effective in your writing? If you are a writer, if you are a rapper, are you effective? Are you using plain language, English, using grammatical rules? Are you using symbols or what have you that people can understand what it is that you are trying to convey? Right? Do you follow formats? Are you creative in your writing? Then if you could do these things, then you can work for a graphic artist and you can work in people's offices and help them to execute their meetings and what have you. It transfers over. And this is something that maybe you do naturally all the time. Organization skills. Are you organized? You put things in order. You do not like clutter. You understand that there's an order of importance. Do you understand how categories and how they relate to one another and how they fit? Do you understand that there are steps and that there are protocols to organization? Even in culinary, you have to be organized. You have to know where your spices are and be able to get to them quickly. You can't walk across the floor and go downstairs and have a pot on the stove. You have to have it where you can get to it very quickly. Okay, so make sure that that food doesn't burn. Are you able to do that? And then all understand that in a freezer, you don't put bloody food at the top. You put the bloody food down at the bottom because you don't want it to be running down and contaminating everything that is in the freezer. Organization. Leadership. Do you have the ability to motivate others, direct and monitor? Are you supportive and encouraging of others? Can you delegate? Can you demonstrate initiative? And here's the most important one, and maybe that bullet point I should have had at the top. Do you understand what the company's goals are, what their vision is, and then be able to create a plan towards it, to work towards it? That is leadership. If you go in one way and your company is going another, that's not leadership. And you being a spokesperson for a group is not leadership unless it was a manager or supervisor that appointed you to be leader. If you're speaking up on your own all the time because you want to represent the people, then you're going to find yourself in trouble. That's not leadership. Getting the approval and the authority transferred to you is leadership. So, are you analytical, technical? Do you have a logic understanding of systems and numbers and data and information, and you love doing this? Do you understand complex information, and are you able to explain it so that Joe Schmo can understand it? Are you methodical in your research? You understand the steps? Are you a problem solver? A problem solver, you're always a problem solver. No matter what it is that we throw at you, you'll be able to solve it. Are you that kind of person that people always telling you information and they wait to hear what your opinion is going to be because your opinion is helpful? Okay, that is a tool. Other tools in your toolbox: personal development. If you are focused on what you can do and how you can do it better, you have to be able to motivate yourself. You have to be able to inspire. You have to be consistent. You set goals and then you achieve them. You have a positive attitude. Anyone that is around you like to be around you because you're always positive. You always have a good positive word, a word of encouragement for the other person. So when you are doing self-care, that means that you're also demonstrating a commitment to you, that you reach it. So somebody who's always telling me, oh, I'm trying to lose weight, oh, I'm trying to lose weight, oh, I'm trying to lose weight. And then every time I turn around, they're eating a chocolate chip cookie, then you're not trying to lose weight. Okay, you can't have a cheeseburger with the French fries, okay, and a shake. Not if you're trying to lose weight. Can't have it. You can have it every once in a while, okay, to congratulate yourself for doing something really, really well, okay, but not on a regular basis. You got to hold yourself accountable. Time management. Are you where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be? Are you meeting deadlines and understand the sense of urgency to reach a deadline? Is that you? Will you stay up all night? Will you come in on the weekends? Will you do that to make sure that something gets done? Do you manage your work well? Do you reach the goals that are established by others and even yourself? So, for example, let me throw a church one out there. So here's a church one. So there's going to be a Mother's Day celebration next Saturday evening, and you are asked to bring 20 fried legs. When you gonna go shopping? When you gonna season them and prepare them? When you gonna cook it? And when is it going to arrive? Is it going to arrive when everything has gotten started, or your stuff was there an hour before doing the setup? That would be time management. So I want you to think about what your transferable skills are and that you can unpack them at your interview. Okay, and I'm hoping that I was clear enough and gave you enough examples so that you would be able to express yourself and articulate what you can do. And then the other thing that's really important is being able to tell your story. So when you are doing the research for your job posting, when you're looking at the job posting, you're supposed to look at it and see what is that they're looking for and what do they need, and do you match it, and then how did you get that? Right? Be able to reference the company that you got it from. And if it was something that was personal, then state that it was personal. And that's how you were able to learn that. But you're supposed to match. If they're looking for A, then you are supposed to go, yes, I am A. So for example, somebody may ask you, let me just do maintenance, for example, how well do you clean? Right? And so maybe you will start off by talking about how you clean your house and how different family members are always asking you to come over to help them get organized. right? And you go over there and you organize their closets and their desk and their bedroom and what have you. And this is something that you do all the time. Nobody paying you. They're maybe just saying a thank you, but they're not paying you. Well, that would be a transferable skill, because then that would be transferred over to the job that you're looking for, who's looking for someone who cleans. Then you're able to give that information. And then one more thing that I want to say, and I know you guys are going to think that this is crazy, and that is fine. Crazy. Okay, but I want to say this, okay, because there's different kinds of people that are going to be looking at this video with different kinds of history. So I just want to speak right now for those people who say that they did not have a job or did not have the kind of job where taxes was taken out. You know what I'm saying? So the alternative job. So let me say this, right? So if you were someone who was in pharmaceutical, okay, not that I'm condoning it, I'm just using it as an example. So if you was in pharmaceutical sales, here was what your responsibility was. Your responsibility was, number one, to know what your product was, right? How good it was, because you needed to get reviews and feedback. You need to understand what the prices were within your industry. You need to understand the geographical location of where your competition was. You had to be able to discern people who are coming up to you, if you could trust them or not. You had to be able to manage your money. You had to be, or you wouldn't have any, and you had to manage the people that were around you, who you can trust, who you could not, who was part of your company. I'm just saying, right? Don't judge me. I'm just giving an example. Here's my point. My point is, these are skills that maybe you have learned in out there, right? That can be brought in and used at an interview. It's about how you spin it, right? And I think that if this is you, have a discussion with me, sidebar, and we'll talk about how you can have all of that added onto your resume, and to prove that you have some real serious skills. And then one more thing for the students out there who maybe have a background, and maybe some of the skills that you learned, were on the inside, were, while you were on pause, while you were away. Okay, that's not a problem. What are the skills that you know? How do you know them? And then you have a private conversation with me, and I tell you how to put that on your resume. As a matter of fact, any staff that's at the whole program will be able to tell you about how to put that on your resume. We don't want you to lose the skill. It's about how do you tell your story. And we are skilled in it, and we want you to become skilled as well, so that it can apply and be relevant to the job that you're looking for. So what do we want to do? We want to close the deal. Okay, we want to make sure that you get what it is that you're looking for, and we want to be able to help you to do that. Right? So I hope that this was helpful to you, and I look so forward to having discussions with you regarding what your next step is. Until then, this is Ms. J. Be well.